CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Brendan Purdy.
When regulators begin disciplining people for simply speaking their mind on their own time, that's overreach.
Tonight on CTV News, the provincial push to protect free speech. Why the Premier believes a new rule is needed. Good evening and thanks for joining us. The province has tabled a bill that it says will give Alberta's regulated professionals more freedom to express themselves without fear of repercussion. As Tim Brooke explains, the Premier says she wants workers to feel comfortable expressing countering viewpoints.
It's easy to link this bill directly back to the pandemic when a number of regulated professionals, specifically those in medical fields, were being disciplined for spreading misinformation around COVID and its treatments. One of those instances in particular really got to Premier Danielle Smith. Psychologist Jordan Peterson was sanctioned by an Ontario college in 2023 after comments that the body says undermined the profession and posed moderate risk to the public. Peterson argued those comments weren't made in his capacity as a psychologist, but lost in court and was punished. Smith says this bill will ensure similar cases don't happen in Alberta. The new rules will impact dozens of workers, everyone from teachers to naturopaths to engineers to, yes, doctors and psychologists. Those professions can no longer be disciplined by their regulatory body for conduct outside of work hours unless that conduct is violent or sexual in nature. The government has been working on this bill for more than a year.
Everyone should have the right to express their personal views freely. No professional should fear losing their license, their reputation, or their livelihood because of a personal opinion, a social media post, an interview, or open dialogue outside of working hours. We want to ensure that professional regulatory bodies keep their focus on areas within their scope.
Also in this legislation is a clause to limit certain types of mandatory work education. Regulatory bodies will no longer be able to provide any training that revolves around diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, unless it pertains specifically back to the job in question. As of now, it's unclear how all of that will be policed, but the minister assures us it will be.
Transgender activists, advocates, and supporters celebrated this evening, honoring the trans existence, resilience, and community on the 9th annual Trans Day of Remembrance. The annual celebration honors members of the transgender community who've lost their lives. Many local dignitaries took in the event, including recently elected Mayor Andrew Knack and Lieutenant Governor Salma Lakhani. The night also featured music and a keynote speech from actress and trans activist Angelica Ross. Organizers say events like this are important to bringing awareness.
The community has been strong, from day one, even before Danielle Smith brought the anti-trans legislation. Our communities have been together, our communities have been working together, our communities have been showing up, right? And that is something that can't be taken away from us.
Despite it being a sad day of remembrance, he hopes that events like this bring the community together. Opposition leader Naheed Nenshi has responded to comments made in the legislature yesterday by the UCP's Shane Getson after the Lac St. Anne Parkland MLA compared gender-affirming surgery to livestock castration.
And I grew up on the farm, Mr. Speaker. I know what castration is. There's a difference. You're not going to grow back those parts, Mr. Speaker, if you change your mind. If the steer changes his mind, too late, you're a steer.
The comment was made during the debate of a bill that uses the notwithstanding clause to shelter 3 transgender laws from the courts. One of those laws bans gender reassignment surgery for those under the age of 18. It also prevents gender reassignment drug therapy for anyone under 16.
No parent in this province wants the Premier, her 4 health ministers, and now Shane Getson sitting in the diagnostic room with them, with their physicians. Mr. Getson should apologize for comparing human beings to cattle and for lying about what this bill is about.
One day after serving strike notice, the Alberta Union of Provincial Employees is heading back to the bargaining table with the Alberta Health Services. The union represents roughly 16,000 nursing care workers, from licensed practical nurses to healthcare aides, operating room technicians, and more. AUPE says AHS put a new offer forward after it served strike notice yesterday. The union says while it would love to reach an agreement, the strike will go on as planned if the offer doesn't live up to expectations. Workers could be on the picket line as soon as Saturday at 8:30 a.m. The strike would be on a rotating schedule. The province says it's happy to hear the union has accepted the government's offer to come back to the table and hopes the parties can arrive at an agreement. Now, Alberta appears closer to a deal with Ottawa on a new pipeline project to British Columbia's north coast. BC opposes that project, but does say it supports a move to maximize capacity in the Trans Mountain expansion. CTV's Tyson Fedor reports.
Pipeline politics are intensifying between Alberta, BC, and Ottawa.
Canada is an energy superpower, doing that responsibly, sustainably.
BC has now announced support for maximizing capacity in the Trans Mountain pipeline, adding about 360,000 barrels of oil per day. Currently, it's operating at around 85%. Trans Mountain CEO in August says Ottawa should focus on capacity before new projects.
Optimize the kit that you have, which you can do in steps over time, and then add capacity as it's needed. And then you have time to evaluate the bigger issue, which is, do you need another pipeline somewhere?
Adding more capacity would include more pump stations and looping pipes to increase oil flow.
BC is essentially saying that Alberta should be able to get its oil to market. BC benefits if we can, dredge the second Narrows Bridge that allows for other types of ships to make it. Into that harbor.
However, Premier David Eby continues to oppose any pipeline project through northern BC ending on the BC North Coast, which does not have a private proponent.
There's no route. There's a tanker ban that BC strongly supports. The project does not make economic sense. There are alternative projects that make more sense for Canada and for Alberta.
And for a project to the coast to be approved, that federal oil tanker ban would have to be lifted.
We're doing the technicals on a new pipeline to the northwest BC coast. We have a potential to also do something similar to Churchill.
Alberta and Ottawa are expected to sign a memorandum of understanding that could include scrapping the planned emissions cap and stronger industrial carbon pricing.
I would be surprised if the MOU gives any kind of certainty to a North Coast pipeline.
Premier Danielle Smith remains hopeful Alberta can add more oil supply to the market.
What we're seeing is that there's a change in the public dialogue about the need for oil and natural gas.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
City staff have tabled a budget that maintains the 6.4% property tax increase for next year. They say absorbing tens of millions of dollars in extra costs from inflation and other new costs has been difficult, and some city services will be affected. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports from City Hall.
With a projected increase of nearly 6.5%, the average Edmonton homeowner can expect to pay about an extra $230 in property taxes next year. City staff say they worked hard to keep that increase as low as possible. 2026 marks the final year of the current 4-year city budget, which means City Council has limited options to make major changes. While the projected tax increase is holding steady, the budget lays out large swings in city revenue and spending for next year. Rising home values will earn the city about $23 million more than expected. It's also earning more from other investments than planned. City staff propose adding $98 million to budgets for existing projects to account for inflation on parts and labor. Chief Financial Officer Stacey Padbury says the city is cutting in areas like cleaning on transit while spending more elsewhere.
In this budget update, we're recommending $13 million in increases to budget for some services that are consistently costing more to deliver, like animal care and control, spring street sweeping, and vandalism repairs.
The budget adjustment proposes $24 million in new projects, including demolishing the Argyle Park Velodrome, replacing the roof on the Rossdale power plant, and prepping land for new schools. It also recommends not paying for new buses, extra paving on arterial roads, or planning and design for a handful of road widening projects. Council will start with this proposed budget as a baseline once talks begin in early December. Many councillors campaigned on fiscal responsibility, while city staff say any cuts would likely lead to service reductions for Edmontonians. At City Hall, Jeremy Thompson, CTV News.
A north central Edmonton neighborhood wants to see police on the ground in their community. Businesses in the Macaulay neighborhood say they often have to call police for help. The deputy chief says the neighborhood used to have beat officers patrolling in the community. He says that it makes sense to bring them back.
I've been in touch with the superintendent of the division today, as a matter of fact. The data analysis in relation to the Macaulay community does support all of the factors that we do include when we do consider a beat area. And the business case has been written in relation to supporting the Macaulay community by reestablishing beat members directly into that community.
The deputy chief adds that he will support the business case, saying, in short, we're on it. Child advocates want Ottawa to enact tougher laws against online harms right away. There's growing concern about how artificial intelligence will be used to create child sex exploitation material. Families, mental health associations, doctors, and police say they want to see legislation tabled by New Year's Eve. Stephanie Thomas has more.
Cyberbullying, sextortion, and non-consensual image sharing are just some examples of online harms worrying to Children First Canada. As part of National Child Day, charity leaders and others gathered at Parliament Hill to demand lawmakers take action.
And so we need them to treat this like the crisis that it is and to act now.
She wants to see the Online Safety Act, or Bill C-63, tabled again. It died on the floor in Parliament when the election was called in the spring. She's given a deadline of 40 days.
Every single day, kids are paying with their lives, with their mental health and their safety.
Doctors, mental health experts, advocates, and children are calling for change.
Parents can't do this alone. Kids can't do this alone. We need the government and tech companies to do their jobs to make sure that being online doesn't mean being unsafe.
A growing concern is the distribution of non-consensual sexual deepfakes, or AI nudes, created by artificial intelligence manipulating images of minors.
AI is moving at leaps and bounds. The numbers are only increasing every year, the reporting and the offending.
Statistics Canada says online child exploitation incidents jumped 59% from 2022 to 2023. And the Internet Child Exploitation, or ICE unit, says it receives about 3,000 files a year for the half of the province south of Red Deer. Staff Sergeant Mark Auger says it might seem like a harmless joke to create, quote, fake images with AI, but the consequences are real.
You've actually created child sexual abuse and exploitation material, formerly known as child pornography, which is a criminal offense and will be investigated, which has ramifications for the rest of your life.
He adds that it's never too early and never too late to have discussions with young people about online harms. Stephanie Thomas, CTV News, Calgary.
The ICE unit says families need to recognize bad online behavior and have open and frank discussions. An Edmonton charity has been nominated for a $100,000 grant. Free Play for Kids has been named one of 12 finalists in a philanthropic contest run by AI Financial. Free Play's Food to Play program is being recognized. Food to Play provides children with daily healthy snacks and a weekly cooking class. The program serves more than 700 kids annually.
We do the sports part, which is the physical aspect, and then we do a social emotional learning, the mental aspect, but then food is really, really important to just tie all these things together.
You can vote for the Edmonton-based charity by visiting their website at freeplayforkids.com. Voting closes on Wednesday, November the 26th. The Alberta Motor Association Community Foundation is launching its annual campaign to help address growing food insecurity across our province. The Fill Our Fleet campaign helps stock the shelves at local food banks. Since 2009, the program has raised more than $1.5 million and 175,000 kilograms of food. This year, AMA is matching up to $100,000 in donations. It's also offering up top donations at all AMA locations.
We know through our membership and through our community outreach, we can uplift donations and support food banks across Alberta to do more and to help the folks that need help when they need it.
And at this time of the year, of course, during the festive season, the food and funds coming in will help us right now, and it will set the tone for the new year.
You can donate non-perishable items in person at any of AMA's locations. Just ahead, a failing grade on a national level. Canadians aren't meeting the mark when it comes to staying healthy and active. Plus, growing guardian guides right here in Edmonton. Service dogs have a new training facility in the Alberta capital.
But having a building like this open up to serve the community really enhances our ability to do that.
Good evening, folks. Temperatures were a handful of degrees above zero yesterday and today in Edmonton. Should be even warmer tomorrow. Saturday still looks pretty warm. Sunday above zero once again. But there is some much colder air coming next week. We'll talk about that. Let you know if there's any snow on the way as well in just a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. Participaction's latest physical activity report card shows that Canadians aren't active enough. CTV's Alison Bamford has more on the report and looks at where we can improve on our fitness.
Every step counts for Tennille LaFontaine when trying to squeeze exercise into her busy schedule.
I know as a parent that our kids are looking up to us to make sure that we're modeling these good behaviors, and I know that I'm not getting as much as my kids even are.
The mother of three isn't alone. Participaction's new adult report card gives Canadians a C-, with less than half meeting physical activity guidelines.
A large majority have indicated that they have the desire to be physically active, but it's getting them past that intention and turning that into action. That's the difficult part.
But it does take strength and stamina.
Hal Johnson has spent his career pushing people to move, but as co-host of Canada's Body Break, he's not seeing everyone practice what he's preached.
Society has changed to be less active. You can do a lot more things simply by your phone than you could ever do before. You'd have to get up.
Physical inactivity costs the healthcare system nearly $4 billion annually, according to the report. Advocates want all levels of government to promote fitness and remove financial barriers.
You take care of yourself now so that you can do things in the future.
And LaFontaine hopes to walk the same path she wants her own children to tread.
My generation as a kid growing up, being healthy meant diet culture and being skinny, whereas now being healthy means being active and being strong. So those are messages that I want to model.
As for Canadians who want to improve their grades in physical activity, experts say even a brisk walk can count towards heart-pumping minutes, and steps taken during a light stroll, house cleaning, or grocery shopping all add up. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
BC and Alberta Guide Dogs has a new permanent home here in our city. As CTV's Amanda Anderson tells us, it'll help the organization keep up with the increasing need for service dogs.
This is Rosie, a guide dog in training.
Of course, the first month is pretty rough. It's like having a baby in your house.
Still, raising a puppy for BC and Alberta guide dogs is something Judy Robinson always wanted to do, but says she never had the opportunity in Edmonton until now.
One job.
The organization officially opened its new Edmonton office and training center on Thursday.
It means everything to us and everything to the program to be able to serve children on the autism spectrum
folks who are visually impaired and our trauma-exposed professionals in the Edmonton and surrounding community is amazing.
The training space is named the Devon Training Hall to recognize the Devon Legion, who donated space for them to get started in the area in 2020.
The plan was to always find our home base and our forever space in Edmonton, which we were finally able to do about a year ago, building the space out and now opening up today. It's been fantastic.
The organization gets anywhere from 50 to 60 calls each month about people in need of service dogs.
All organizations like ourselves strive really hard to serve as many people as possible that do need our services. But having a building like this open up to serve the community really enhances our ability to do that.
This black lab, named Blaze, graduated from its training program earlier this year to become Alberta's first occupational stress intervention dog, who now works with the Edmonton Police Service.
Blaze has that ability to help soothe someone, calm someone, whether they know it or they don't. I'll also use him within my reintegration work.
Rosie, meanwhile, will be one of the first to graduate out of the new Edmonton facility.
I'm thrilled to be the first one here in Edmonton to have a puppy with this organization, so it's been exciting.
As the organization's presence grows in Edmonton, so does their need for volunteers. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
After the break, a windfall for a good cause. We meet the latest winners of the Mighty Millions Lottery Show Home.
I had a mixture of laughter and crying. I'm not really sure. The people that called me probably didn't know what was going on with me.
Friday on Your Morning, we take you behind the scenes at Disney on Ice, and Elvis Stoico joins the show. Plus, the top toys on every kid's wish list this Christmas. See you at 6.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by Boston Pizza's 5 Days of Pizza for Ben, supporting the Ben Stelter Foundation.
Welcome back. A chilly start to the day, although we're still right around average. -10 this morning. It will be considerably milder tomorrow morning, though. We get to 4 degrees for a daytime high this afternoon. Some sunshine in the morning, clouds through the afternoon. Tomorrow we'll start with clouds and then see some clearing later in the day. Now, early in the day, this is about 4 or 5 in the morning, off to the west of the Edmonton area, we've got a chance of some showers or some patchy freezing rain as this warm air punches in. I think that'll all fall apart before it makes its way through the Edmonton area, but off to the northeast here, Lac-La-Biche up towards Fort McMurray, you could see some freezing rain early in the day. There's the clearing through the afternoon and into the evening hours, and then a mixed sun and cloud on the way for Saturday, and again, a handful of degrees above the freezing mark. We'll drop to -5 for an overnight low, but temperatures, by the time we get to like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, will start to rise. So by 7 or 8 in the morning, should already be around -2. We in the -8 to 10 range for overnight lows in eastern and northeastern Alberta, -2 in Grand Prairie to start the day. Back to about 6 or 7 for highs in through the northwest, 6 degrees in Fort McMurray with that chance of a few scattered flurries, maybe some patchy freezing rain in the morning, 9 in Red Deer, and 5 in Jasper. Here in Edmonton, 7 degrees tomorrow, 6 on Saturday, 3 Sunday, and then the cooler air starts to drop in. That snow on Monday at this point doesn't look like it's going to be really heavy, but there's a chance we could see some flurries. It is certainly going to cool off in a big way, though. -5 to -10 range, middle to the end of next week. Morning lows in the -10 to 15 range. So that's the coldest air we've seen since last spring, really. It has not been that cold at all through any part of October or November so far. 3 more warm days, and then that cooler air starts to settle in. That is your forecast.
Yeah, an Edmonton couple got to tour their brand new multi-million-dollar home as grand prize winner of the Mighty Millions Lottery.
Jody and Ryan, hi. Thank you. Come on in.
In addition to the $2.5 million show home in Cameron Heights, the grand prize also included $100,000. The couple says the win will give them some breathing room as they head into their retirement years.
I had a mixture of laughter and crying. I'm not really sure. The people that called me probably didn't know what was going on with me.
Jody buys lottery tickets for all these great causes that she likes to support, but we never win. so she buys them without telling me now, so it was an even bigger surprise to me.
The Mighty Millions Lottery is a major and long-standing fundraiser for the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation. The couple says their own children used the Stollery in the past, and they're grateful that they have the hospital here in Edmonton. The foundation raised more than $2 million through this latest lottery.
That money is going to go towards helping us purchase specialized equipment at the hospital, as well as investing in research. So not only can we help Stollery kids today, but also in the future.
The lottery has helped raise more than $30 million over the last decade. That, folks, is the definition of win-win. Even if you don't win, money's still going to a great cause. That's all from us on this Thursday night. Thank you so much for wrapping up your day with us here on CTV Edmonton. We'll see you back here tomorrow night, same time, same place, to put a bow on the week. Until then, take care. Bye for now.